I was already holding my phone when it buzzed. Late at work, love you. Her name glowed on the screen like a dare. I didn't look up at first. I finished my sip, let the ice settle. Then I raised my eyes and watched my wife lean across candlelight and kiss a man who wasn't me, 3 tables away, close enough to smell her perfume, close enough to see the practiced tilt of her head, the one she learned with me. I typed with steady thumbs, "Work hard tonight," attached a photo, her table, her wine, her hand on his wrist. She froze mid-laugh, color drained from her face in layers, fear arrived last. That was the moment I stopped being surprised. We met in a bookstore, years ago. She was sitting on the floor between philosophy and travel, reading like the world was quiet enough to listen. She smiled when I asked for a recommendation. It felt like being chosen. We built a life from small rituals, Sunday eggs, shared passwords, jokes only funny to us. Trust wasn't spoken, it was assumed. I loved that about us. I loved her for how safe she felt. Safety is expensive. It costs you vigilance. The changes came softly. Later nights, a new lock code she forgot she'd told me, a smile that lingered after texts she wouldn't show. I noticed everything. I said nothing. I didn't want to be a man who invents ghosts. I wanted proof. I wanted certainty. Certainty arrived wearing a suit and a watch I recognized from our anniversary. He worked in consulting. She started using that word too, consulting, as if it explained anything. I didn't rage. I didn't plead. I didn't beg for honesty from someone practicing deception like a craft. I learned her routes. I learned his. I learned the gaps where truth hid. I planned. I moved money first, quietly, not theft, allocation. I consulted a lawyer before she consulted him. I copied messages, saved timestamps. Screenshots don't forget. I updated beneficiaries, changed passwords. I kept the house warm. I kissed her goodbye. I let her believe the lie was working. Control isn't loud, it's patient. Back at the restaurant, she stood too fast. The man followed her eyes, confused. She didn't introduce us. She didn't have to. I stood, adjusted my jacket, and paid my bill. I walked past her table without stopping. I let her feel the air shift. She came home late, later than usual. The door clicked like a confession. "I can explain," she said. "I know," I replied. "That's the problem." I slid a folder across the counter. Inside, dates, photos, statements, the lease to the apartment she didn't know I'd already toured, the divorce papers waiting, unsigned, patient. Her eyes moved faster than her mind. She reached for something to say. I let silence starve it. "You sent the photo," she whispered. "I sent the truth," I said. The man called the next day. I didn't answer. His employer did. Conflicts of interest are fragile things. His wife reached out a week later. I shared only what was necessary. Justice doesn't need spectacle. She tried to bargain, tears, promises, a sudden devotion that smelled like panic. I watched it all with a calm I didn't recognize in myself. Betrayal burns hot, but planning cools it. By the time we sat across from each other in the lawyer's office, my grief had already done its work and left. The confrontation was brief. It didn't need fireworks. It needed clarity. "You didn't just cheat," I told her. "You practiced." She flinched. Good. Precision hurts more than shouting. The settlement was fair. Fair is devastating when you expect mercy. I kept the house. She kept her stories. The man disappeared. Consulting took him somewhere else. Silence followed them like a consequence. Now, when I think back to that text, "Late at work, love you," I don't feel anger. I feel gratitude for the timing, for the lighting, for the way the truth arranged itself 3 tables away so I could choose who I became next. Revenge isn't violence, it's alignment. It's making the world match what you know. I didn't confront her in the moment, because moments lie. I waited for the end where facts live. And when it came, I didn't need to win loudly. I won completely. I still have the photo, not as a wound, as a reminder. I saw, I acted, I rose.